Alright, this is something I've been dreading for a while, but I need to do it, man. I need to get this monkey off my back. Um, basically, I don't really know where to start here. Basically, it's like I said, I used to be really beta, alright? I was a skinny, dorky, nerdy beta geek, bro. I can't believe how I used to be back when I was younger, man. But we'll get into that some other time. Maybe I'll do a beta vlog, instead of an alpha vlog, I'll do a beta vlog and explain, how I used to be beta and all that stuff. But, no, right now I'm going to talk about, about how I wanted to, get into the music industry. I wanted to be a rapper and stuff. And don't get me wrong, I still will be one day, just like I'll be an MMA fighter, you know what I mean? Probably just amateur, and I'll probably get my ass whooped or whatever, but, I still want to try it one day. Anyway, this story starts, in late 2007. Yeah, that's about right. That's when, that's when I first started showing, alpha traits, traits of an alpha, even though I was so beta, bro. Like, you can ask the people I went to high school with, man, I don't know what was wrong with me, man. I was, I was just weird, man. Most people knew me, I didn't have any enemies. I had, a good amount of friends and acquaintances. I was kind of a class clown in a way, but not in a cool way. You know how there's always that one popular kid that's like, oh man, I'm the class clown. I do edgy stuff. I'm funny. People like me. No, I was more of a class clown in a goofy loser kind of way. You know what I mean? I would do goofy, silly stuff. I would say goofy, silly stuff, but it didn't really make me cool, because I was like the furthest thing from cool, let me tell you, alright? But I got by, I didn't get my ass kicked by anybody, I had no enemies, I had a pretty, pleasant experience in high school, I was just trying to get by, bro, my grades weren't very good, but that's because I couldn't see for shit, man. I didn't get contacts till, February, March, or April 2008. And that's really when my life began to change in 2008. But basically, this story starts in late 2007. I was up at 3 a.m. one night. I was doing my homework that was due within hours, bro. This was 3 a.m. And this was usual for me. I would always do this. That's another reason why my grades are so bad. I was just so unmotivated. I just didn't give a fuck, I hated, work, homework, all that shit. I hated that shit, bro. But anyway, I was doing it at 3 a.m. I got done with it. I was going to bed. I was listening to the radio, as I did back then, and I'll never forget it. This is when I first heard the song "Crank That Soulja Boy" by Soulja Boy. Tell him, and I remember so distinctly. I couldn't really understand anything he was saying. I just kept hearing "Soulja Boy" and "Crank That Soulja Boy" over and over and over. I thought that was the entire song, pretty much, And I was like, man, this is the stupidest song I've ever heard. This is ignorant, And I hated it. And the next day, the very next day at school, actually it was that day, it was later that day, I remember I heard some people talking about it. I heard them mention it. And at that point I was like, well maybe I'll give it another chance, So I got home and I downloaded it, and, and that was history in the making for me, I started learning more about the guy, I noticed he had a music video of the song. It had its own dance and everything, and something just clicked inside of me, I transformed, basically. I got tired of being a total loser, and just I was tired of not caring about my appearance and my clothes and stuff, and just everything about me had to change. So I always did things for attention, and this was no different. Basically, I went through a total phase where I got real into rap and hip hop and the culture behind it. I remember this is winter break 2007. Me and my best friend, he took me to the mall because back then, I couldn't drive. I didn't have contacts, glasses. I couldn't see shit, but I got by. And we went to the mall, and I remember having all this money from Christmas, and I spent $300, $400 on stuff at the mall, baggy clothes and pants and fitted caps like this, fake chains. I even bought a grill, actually. All fake stuff, cheap stuff. But this was part of my transformation, and a lot of people would say, yeah, bro, you turn into, a wigger or whatever, But no, no, I never acted like I was, black or whatever, bro. I would get my ass kicked, I never acted gangster or anything. No, I just really liked the culture. I liked the way they dress, and I got in. That's how I got into that. That's how Soulja Boy became my favorite rapper. And that became my favorite song. I learned to dance. And some of you have seen some of the dance videos I did. In fact, if there's enough requests for it, I'll upload the Soulja Boy dance I did again. I think I have one left on one of these DVDs over here. And if there's enough requests for it, I'll upload it too. Because I didn't give a fuck then. I don't give a fuck about that now. Like I would do the dance in front of people in high school. I didn't care, bro. I wanted attention. I wanted to be different than everybody else. And honestly, I think that's how I got with my ex. I think, dude, I was still a dork, right? And I wasn't good looking. I was, it's sad, but I was confident. I didn't care that I was making a fool of myself. And I think chicks pick up on that. They like confidence, and they like guys that are unique. And it's the same with me. I like chicks that are confident and chicks that are unique. I don't like this cookie cutter bullshit that you see in the mainstream media today. But anyway, so that's how I got a girlfriend while I was still doing all this, this rap stuff, right? And somewhere along the lines, I decided that, my ultimate goal was to be a rapper. I wanted to be, a famous rapper like, all these other guys. And I remember one of my gimmicks was I was going to be clean, right? I wanted to be a clean rapper. Well, that got thrown out the window when I actually made my first real song. Actually, and it's funny I say that because it's actually the second song I ever made. But we'll get to that in a little while. Because while I was doing all this, I was also practicing producing, editing music, all that stuff. And I got really into making clean edits, like radio edits of songs. Like the first clean edit I ever did for a song was T.I.'s Whatever You Like. It didn't cuss or anything, but one of the lines, it's like, brain so good, could have swore you went to college. Well, on the radio, they censored brain because, that means it's slang for, oral sex, right? And so that was my first project in the clean editing, and that just like spawned this thing. Like I realized that I could do this, like as I was doing clean edits, I learned how to, do other stuff, Unfortunately, most of these skills didn't really I didn't really learn until after I made this atrocious disaster of a song called Crank It Up. At the time I was still into Soulja Boy. This was like it was either mid 2008 or early 2009. In the song I think I say like I've been doing this since 2008. I don't know if I made it in 2008 or 2009. 08 at the earliest, 09 at the latest. But anyway, I was still into Soulja Boy, and I was into this genre of music called snap dance. All right, and that's what Crank That is. It's a snap dance song. It's got a snap, and you dance to it. And I was real into that. And I had always been making these little beats for a while, but Crank It Up was the first. Well, it wasn't the first full length instrumental I ever made, but it was definitely the first rap one. And it's very simple. I had like two different versions. I had the bass version with the really loud bass line, and that's the one I ended up going with. And I also had this one with the simple melody. They both suck, right? And I know that. And the song is even worse. And when you hear it, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. And actually, I wanted to put the song on this video, but we're almost out of time, so I got to wrap this up. Basically, I don't know what compelled me to do it, but I just remember being. I was displaying traits of an alpha back then. I didn't give a fuck. I was wearing all these baggy clothes. I looked like a total tool, man. But I didn't care. You know why? I was happy. I had a loving girlfriend. I had friends that I could trust, and I hung out with them like virtually every weekend. We'd party and do all this other stuff. My life was actually going pretty good, man. Everything was great. And I decided, I need to prove to everybody that I really am going to be a rapper, So I remember one day my dad was gone somewhere, and I had some time. So I wrote down some lyrics in about 30 minutes, and I spent about an hour or an hour and a half, 2 hours recording said lyrics over the instrumental I made. And at the time, I didn't give a fuck. I knew it was bad then, but I didn't care. I was so happy, excited, and proud that, I made a song. Like, I I recorded it in FL Studio. That way I didn't have to worry about it being out of sync with the beat and stuff, you know. And I think I edited it a bit in Audacity or something. You know, I put it together. I made a clean version of it. That's the version that's out there right now. Actually, I think I made a clean and a super clean. I think this is a super clean version. And like I said, I wanted to be a clean rapper at first, but the reason why I changed that is because I enjoyed making clean edits so much. The only reason why the song I even cuss in it is because I wanted to do a clean edit. I wanted to, you know, do the disc scratching effects and all this other stuff, and I just enjoy making clean edits of songs, or I did anyway. I still kind of do, but I haven't done it in a really, really, really long time. But yeah, and so I put it together in one afternoon, and then I showed my friends the song and stuff, and obviously, you know, it sucked, but they were very supportive. Like, you gotta understand, these were actually my friends back then. They're not anymore, and we'll get over that later. But they were very supportive, you know. It's a goofy ass song. It's probably the worst song ever made, but they were very supportive. Even my girlfriend was supportive, even though they knew it sucked ass, right? I knew it sucked ass, but you gotta understand, I didn't care. I was also wearing these baggy shirts that did not fit me. I was wearing flat bills, man. I was pale as fuck. I looked like a clown, but I was unique in that regard, you know? There was no one else out there like me. There was no one else out there doing all this stuff like I was doing, and I was happy, bro. I didn't give a fuck. But anyway, time goes by, right? Eventually I start hating the song. I keep telling my friends, you know, I really hate the song, bro. Please, you know, get rid of it. I don't know how they ended up getting it on their computer, but that was my fault. That was my bad. And you know, they kept slowly over time. They just kept fucking with me. They fucked around with me. They're like, "Oh yeah, I'll delete it." And I had to make some deals here and there, and I had to watch them delete it. But they always had some backup version somewhere, you know. And you know, it took a few years, but it finally happened. One of these motherfuckers went behind my back, and they uploaded it to the internet, you know. And before that, I remember I'd go over there sometimes, and they'd be playing it on the stereo and stuff. Like, this song has a very distinguishable bass line. Like, you can always tell when that song's playing, even if you're outside. And that's how it would happen, you know. I'd hear it, I'd go in there, I'd be like, "What the fuck, man?" And they'd be all laughing. "Oh, this is so funny. Let's make fun of this guy for this song you made." And there'd always be there'd be people there, you know, random people I'd never even met, and I have to make this first impression with them. My stupid, goofy, monotone, nerdy voice on the speakers, you know, and it was just horrible that my friends would do that to me. But you know, I got over it. But then they pulled this bullshit, right? They upload it to YouTube without my consent, without me even knowing about it. The only reason why I know about it is because one of my actual real friends, you know, told me about it on Facebook, right? And then, you know, and it just I just can't believe they would do this to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's such utter bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know why a friend would do that to somebody. Like, they know I hate it. They know I'm trying to get rid of that part of me, but they just won't let it go. So you know what? I'm like, fuck it, bro. You forced my hand. You know, you want to do this shit, we'll do this shit, bro. You ain't a real friend of mine, but at the same time, you're doing me a fucking favor, all right? Because if I'm gonna be as good a troll, you know, as alpha as I'm gonna be, then I need to eliminate all my weaknesses, all right? And this happens to be one of it. You know, this song I made and the Soulja Boy dance videos were about the only weaknesses I had. They also would talk about my ex all the fucking time. Like, every time I go over there, they just bring her up for no reason. You wanna know why? 'Cause they were jealous as fuck that a guy like me could even get a girl like that, dude. Like, out of all my friends and their girlfriends, like, I clearly had the most attractive one, the most unique one, the most trusting, loyal one, you know. And I'll talk about that some other time too. You know, you know, all good things come to an end. We broke up in like 2010. This was a long time ago. But basically, you know, I just can't believe my friends would do that shit to me. But you know what? That's fine. That's fine, bro. Because this will make me stronger. I'm going to show everybody this shit. And if there's enough demand for it, I'll upload the Soulja Boy dance videos too. Because I want people to see just how beta I was. Just how much of a loser I was. And how I overcame all of that. How I became stronger because of it. How I arose from the ashes that I was. Or some other smart, poetic shit like that. And how I became stronger. How I became alpha. Well, anyway, we're up to like 15 minutes right now, so obviously I can't upload the video here. I might have to link to it, but anyway, I'm still not satisfied with it. I might do a part 2. Actually, you know what? I think I will do a part 2. That's what I'm going to do. So fuck you, YouTube, and your 15-minute limits, bro. I'm going to do a part 2.